Well, I guess we're restarting, boys. Well, I'm not stopping my recording, so
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Seth, and this is the OpTic topic. I'm really glad to be bringing you some really good news and some really bad news today. First, the OpTic COD roster finally, after 5 years, has won champs, and we're all super hyped. Woo! Last night, we got some bad news about the CS team. So in case you don't follow, we're going to put timestamps in the description, so you can hop around if you don't follow both, or if you want to skip around, feel free to. It's mostly going to be a lot about COD and then a bit about CS towards the end. So it's going to be a lot COD-centric, and we're going to be talking, maybe not all about OpTic, we might be talking about how other teams did in the COD scene. So if you want to skip around through that too, feel welcome to. But with that being said, I'm back again with Jordan and Ben. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Yo.
How's it going?
Yeah, so this event, well, first of all, we had the Stage 2 playoffs, which we talked about how we think it would go before then. And so there's some things where that OpTic did come out on top. I think, Jordan, you said you think Luminosity was going to come out. We all made our predictions on there. This is an event, again, where in the past, OpTic has either done well, better than expected, or won the event previous to Champs, and people have them as favorites to win, and then don't. I remember, like, all the way in Ghost, people thought they were going to be terrible, and they showed up. They didn't win that event, but they did really well. People were like, okay. And they even outperformed there. Last year, they won the event before, and I know in Advanced Warfare that they also won the event. They won like 3 in a row, and then they just choked. But this event was different because they won in an incredible fashion. Because they won in the way they did, I'm kind of glad because it was more hype to see them win the best of 5s. But we're gonna go back to the beginning, and we're gonna go over
real quick
a little bit.
I actually found it interesting because I predicted Luminosity in Stage 2, and they didn't do so great. But I thought it was interesting how even coming into Champs, even after how inconsistent OpTic had been, all the casters, when they did the roundtable, had predicted OpTic to win. I think all of them. Maybe one didn't, but most of them predicted OpTic to win. So I thought it was still interesting that the casters still believed that OpTic were the favored in the event. And because especially in this game, in the later parts of the year, we weren't super dominant. Our hardpoint was really shaky, and I was really worried about playing top-tier teams like Luminosity again. Even after 3-0ing them at Stage 2 playoffs, I thought that was kind of a fluke. But then, I mean, we'll get into Champs here in a second. But yeah, I think we came out strong, and it's interesting to see in the Stage 2 playoffs, basically, if OpTic wins the winners round 1, we win the event. I think 99% of the time. We did it. Even though we came from the loser bracket, we did it again, so that was pretty interesting to see. But anyway, on to Champs.
Yeah, as far as Champs go, I feel like the event was set up really well because I've watched a lot of Call of Duty, and this is probably my favorite event this year. It was really well organized. They had a lot of teams. I know when they first do the drawings, people were like, who's Project Evil? Who's MRN Black? Or some of these other teams. But I think that helped seed the pools correctly, where the top 2 teams are clearly going to get out. If there was a close matchup with the FaZe, Red Reserve, Allegiance 3-way tie, that would be close. But the best teams were getting out typically, and there weren't too many upsets. And even when there was, like with the Rise Luminosity, they still came out first in their group. And I feel like that really helped us out, and OpTic wasn't completely ruined in the first round by getting matched up with someone else. I was really happy too, because when I first saw the bracket, I saw Aches was on the complete opposite side of the bracket. He's not touching us till winners finals. So I was like, yes, or at least we're going to get past 7th. Getting past 3rd was
him and JCap.
Yeah,
I was just glad we didn't get JCap winners round 1 like we have the other years. I was because it was actually possible since they were Group B. If either us, OpTic, or Envy had came second, we would have faced them winners round 1. And I was like, please, COD gods, don't let this happen. And thankfully it didn't.
Yeah, that's why I feel like the pools were seeded pretty good. And then you can even see in the later stages of the of the tournament, the top 6 teams were the teams that you kind of think would be there. Like I know in past events, like OpTic obviously was going out early, but I mean at the end you had like the top 6. You had United, Rise, FaZe, Luminosity, OpTic, Envy, and I mean towards the beginning you'd say those are probably the top 6 teams that have a chance of winning. And so it was awesome seeing how it actually worked out. And I mean, and with a double elimination bracket, the one thing I do like about them is that you see, even though one team was like screwed over in the first round, you have United and LG actually ended up losing. They were able to come back with a crazy bracket run.
Insane loser bracket run.
And place top 3. Now, I will say I'm not taking anything away from them, but I do think that people are hyping them up a little bit too much because they did lose the first round. But then, if you look at the matches they played Infused. Well, Fnatic then Infused, and then Splice. I know now Splice.
But they 3-0'd Splice, and then they 3-0 E United. Like
those two,
those two teams were pretty insane. Like,
oh, I know.
So I know
Splice
they did just come off of a loss, but like, I think Luminosity, in my opinion, were the second best team at this event. I know Envy came second, but I think if Envy and Luminosity had played each other, I definitely think, in my opinion, that Luminosity would have come on top.
Yeah, and you look at it and like you say, like I was saying, like they played against Fnatic and Fuse, but like they also played against Splice and United, who are good teams, and among all of those, they went. What did they say? It was like 15-2. No, I think Rise. Yeah. It was including Rise because they beat Rise, who ended up
they beating
Rise them earlier. 15-2 across how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 series, and you go 15-2.
That is
no matter what
insane.
team you are, no matter what level you're playing against, 15-2 is very impressive.
It's not 23-0 though. 23 match streak game streak from OpTic. Throwback to ESWC.
And then same thing with Rise a bit. They got knocked down, and then they came back against some teams that you might say aren't the best, but still up there, Straight, Allegiance, Ghost, and then...
I mean, you got to give it to Rise. They have the clutch factor, bro. They know when to clutch up.
Yeah, then they did beat FaZe. So it was crazy because if Rise won again, like Facento, like I know a lot of people like on the old TR and Elevate roster, they're like, is he really the best player that they need? I mean, his profile at Champs would be amazing. He plays second the 1 year. He placed 3rd last year. He almost placed past 4th this year.
Yeah. I mean, that consistency through Champs has been impressive. Like, even if they struggle throughout the years, they always turn up during Champs. So you got to hand it to them. Yeah,
and then also, like, it's just amazing that I want to say, like, in Ghost, he was a good player. And like he's always been a good player, but like from Black Ops 1, he was definitely the best player. JCap, it's just amazing to see him. Like, I'm not saying that I didn't think he was a good player anymore, but like JCap was clearly the best in Black Ops 1, and then as it went on, he wasn't clearly the best anymore.
He struggled. I think the reason they didn't win the event is because of him. He finished with a 0.8 KD or something like that, and the rest of his team, Slasher ended with a 1.3. John ended with a 1.2, Apathy ended with a 1.2, and he ended with a 0.8. Like, he did not show up this event. I still think he's a crazy guy. I mean, he has 2 rings, almost had 3. His achievements in COD has been absolutely insane. But
and he plays
with
second,
that being said,
and he's knocked out OpTic before. Like, he hasn't. Every event I think he's placed higher than like 7th.
Yeah.
So like it's just insane to see that, and like to see some other players like Facento, who like he's not a new player, but not like an old classic. Well, not classic the player, but like JCap and like Scump and Merc and all of them from like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 days, coming up and like placing consistently. It was crazy, and then like for Karma to be like, I know people were saying, oh, you won 2, but those were boots on the ground, and now coming into with the jetpacks and still being able to win is awesome. Now, I'm not sure what your opinions are. You guys could take this, but I feel when you're playing at an event, no matter what the prize money is, right? If I'm at my friend's house and they're like, okay, the winner gets to choose dinner, I'm playing my heart out. And
This
people say,
story again.
if you win, if you don't win champs, you're not a dynasty. You're not the best team in the world. What are your opinions on that? Do you think you have to win the championship to be considered like the clearly best team, or do you think if you win 19 out of 20 championships, that you're still the best team?
If you win 19 out of 20 championships, in my personal opinion, you are the best team, without a doubt. But I think it is good to have that champs because it shows that you could turn up when there was high pressure and that you turned up when it mattered. But I definitely 100%, I don't think the argument of saying, oh, you haven't won one event, that's pretty much just like every other event, every other team's trying their heart out, that it doesn't count. So I think they're now pretty much solidified to be one of the best teams in Call of Duty history, if not the best. I think if they go into boots on the ground and they dominate there, then no doubt they're the best COD team to have ever touched Call of Duty. And I'd say probably already, but I think boots on the ground will 100% solidify that.
I honestly think the boots on the ground is going to be really scary on how good OpTic is, because it was going to Advanced Warfare before they even knew how the game was going to play. They picked up Formal and Crim, and then they added Karma a couple weeks later. But I mean, like, obviously you know Karma from the Cole EG and from the Impact rosters from years ago. He's crazy on boots on the ground, and he's a very versatile player. Like, he used to play sub, and now he can play like AR. He can play whatever. Crim, the winningest player in Call of Duty. Scump, probably, I'm going to say consistently in the talk for the best player of every single title that he's been playing since the beginning. Like, all of them were, and then they picked up Formal, who helped Envy get some championships and Ghosts at the end and start doing really well in boots on the ground. And I just think boots on the ground is going to be super scary for the other teams, because a lot of these teams, like, they're calling them like jetpackers, and people, I know there was a sign that everyone saw calling Jetcap or whatever, and like a lot of
you
people
can't spell jetpack without JCap.
And then obviously like the old TR Elevate Rise roster with Facento and Aqua, and like a couple other players, they call them jetpackers. If that's true and like they don't do well, I'm really scared on how dominant OpTic's gonna be.
Why'd you be scared?
Well,
for the other teams.
For the other teams. I think, I don't know if you guys watched the post-Champs press conference. I watched the whole thing. It was like 37 minutes or something like that. And in that, Com is like, I can't wait for next year. He said, I've not been that good at boots on the ground. I mean, in jetpack games, you can see that my performance significantly went down the moment that we played boots on the ground. But we know that we are all crazy good. He's like, I've already teamed with Crim6. He's amazing. We won COD Champs together. Then he says he played Scump, and he was a pain in the butt to play. And then he's like, and Formal was a god too. So he's like, I can't even imagine what this roster is going to be like come boots on the ground. And like the strategy and the teamwork is so much more important. And you'll hear time after time teams saying how good OpTic is when it comes to teamwork and when it comes to like communication. And those are two of the most important things when it comes to boots on the ground. So I think it's going to be great to see, and I'm really stoked for next year.
Yeah, based on that, what you said with the teamwork and communication, like, I didn't watch the whole post-Champs thing because I'd go to work, and after Sensor was asking about acting, I kind of turned it off.
Oh, yeah, that was a different thing. The post-Champs press conference was different to the what was it called?
Overtime.
That thing was so bad. Like, it made me uncomfortable watching it. Like, I was so happy that OpTic just won, and we didn't get reviews of any of the games. We got the MVP like 20 minutes later. They were talking about acting, Yeezys, and like a bunch of crap. That was so bad.
So cringy.
So cringy.
Yeah, but you're talking about like the teamwork that they have, and like people before were saying, are they just slay heavy? I know people have said that with like Luminosity too. Are they just slay heavy? But you can see that like it's not just slay heavy, because when you have other teams that can slay well, they don't always win the hard points. Which before, when they first teamed, people used to say when you're going up against OpTic, you're down 0-1 because hard points first. And now it's the exact opposite, because they have that teamwork there, and now their S&Ds are what they're winning. And I think that's why they're so scary now, is because before it was like there's a format that people play in where like they win the S&Ds, like the S&D gods people call them, and then they try winning like usually the uplink. If CTF is in the rotation, that one tries stealing one off. Now when OpTic is actually good at S&D and they have a really good chance of winning those S&Ds, and they're like the S&D gods, and they're as slay heavy as they are, it's absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So like coming into boots in the ground, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, I think before we go on, we should talk about like all the games and like go through how OpTic won exactly, and like start with pool play and everything.
Do you want to start with all of pool play, or do you kind of want to skip to like Splice?
We can just briefly talk about it. I mean, we played 3S UP, or 3S up. I don't know how to say it. 3 sub. Oh, that makes more sense. Whatever. We 3-0'd them. Then we played Epsilon, 3-0'd them, which that was my worry. I was like, if anyone can get us, I mean, I was still confident because we destroyed them in a week, but I was still like, if anyone in this group is going to cause us problems, it was Epsilon. They didn't know we 3-0'd them, and then we went on to play Echo Fox, 3-1 them. They actually took the S&D, I think it was the S&D off of us, and so that, I mean, we still ended 9-1 in pool play, so we were still comfortable going into that. I was like, okay, we're doing good. Our hard points, uplinks looked great. Our S&D looked great too, so I mean, I was pretty comfortable. What were you guys thinking? Especially
since we usually start slow at events.
Mm-hmm.
On usually most days, like we'll start slow at the beginning of a day, and then we pick it up, especially during the beginning of the event. And since they were seeded well, like we didn't get matched with an Envy or a Rise, we got like that practice in, and then it just showed in the first round against Mindfreak Black, where we were able to 3-0 them too.
Yeah, agreed.
And then you were going to Splice.
No, then we played Mindfreak Black. It actually was a tiny bit closer than I thought. The hard point, we were like together with them for a brief period of time, and then eventually we broke away. Then the S&D and the uplink weren't too close, but the uplink we destroyed them in. But still, a good start. It was just like getting warmed up and playing that match. But then we get into the OG Splice game.
Yeah, I feel like Mindfreak Black was like a pretty like I don't know how to explain, like typical game, like a game that you'd like see, you'd be like, okay, there's nothing crazy happened, and everything, and then like it just helped us get our feet on the ground on how to play, if you know what I mean. Instead, because if you go up against like really terrible teams that you just like 250 to 1 on hardpoint in, like go into a game like Splice, you might have like a little trouble. So I feel like those matches that we played helped just get us like our feet on the ground. Anyway, you're saying.
So the Splice match, we won map 1, I believe, right? Can anyone vouch for that?
Yeah.
I think we won map 1, and then we lost the S&D, lost the uplink, then won hardpoint and S&D, right?
Hello?
Can anyone verify that?
I remember watching it. To be honest, I forget the order of it.
I think because we lost the S&D, and then we played throwback uplink, I think, wasn't it? And that's like our worst uplink. Oh yeah, because Bance made that crazy play on throwback uplink. Do you remember that?
I started watching towards the end of the uplink. He
made a crazy FTL play. He like killed one person, FTL'd like out of like smoke or something, I don't even remember, and then snaps on someone by like the mid-train area, and it was just insane. But yeah.
So I remember hearing that. I had it on in work, and I was peeking at it, and when I first turned it on, they were talking about that.
But anyway, our hardpoints look good in that series. Our S&Ds looked pretty good too, actually, besides the one we lost. We're just kind of working out some kinks. They just kind of read us well in that S&D, and then going into the uplink, it's our worst uplink map by like a mile. Throughout the whole entire year, we've struggled so much on throwback uplink, and like it was kind of expected. I don't know how we play it wrong, but like we just don't know what we're doing. And so we do that, and then we go down 2-1, and I'm like, oh shoot, dude, we can't let this happen. Then we win that hard point. I'm like, thank God. I'm like, S&D, we're good at S&D. I know we dropped a couple, like 2 or 3 S&Ds throughout this event, but I was still comfortable. I'm like, we're good. We pull it off. We managed to win it, like 6-3 or 6-4, something like that. Not too close, but I was really happy with that. We played well enough to win, and then we broke through the top 7 curse at that point. So I was just like, thank you, COD gods. I'm so happy.
I never got that top 7 thing because we placed 3rd at the first 2 champs.
Yeah, but that was ages ago. That was not with this, like, our dominating rosters, you know?
I guess.
But, and that's not Jetpack COD. Anyway, then we played OG then we played FaZe, sorry, not OG. We didn't play ourselves. But, we played FaZe and we literally demolished them. Like, none of the maps were even, like, close. Like, we just demolished them. I don't know did you guys watch that game? Like...
Yeah, I remember watching it and I was like, oh, this is going to be a good match. And, like, there were points here and there. I missed the hard point. I tuned in towards the end of it because the esports app was, like, giving me updates, like, a map later. But I was really hyped. I kind of wish we played Clayster because, like, every time we threw out a team, I'm like, throw them up after this because what he said. I think I was talking to Ben watching one of the matches. And I really hope you were playing them, but like
that was the
so
Luminosity game, wasn't it?
I was saying after everyone. I forget which one we were watching together, but and it was FaZe who has knocked us out before, and it's always like a rivalry with us. OpTic and FaZe, like any sport, just based on our roots, and so that was like pretty hype.
Yeah, so we win that. I'm like, okay, we've played NB the last 4, like we played them 4 times in the past like 2 or 3 weeks. And every single time we'd beat them. So I'm like, thank you. This is our year. I'm like, we're going to go through the winners bracket. We're going to be totally fine. And then we win the first hard point, and it kind of goes downhill from
there.
Dude,
I was so hype. You have no idea how hype I was. I'm like, okay, we won the first hard point, and I'm like, dude, and we're good on S&D. We should win this, and then we'll go up 2-0. And like, dude, there's no way a team's taking 2 best of 5s off of us. We won.
Yeah.
And then we lost. And then when we lost the uplink, I'm like, dude, and I was fuming when we lost. Like I wasn't like punching anything, but I was like typing in chat and stuff. I'm like, this was our year. Like I know every other year was our year, but like we were this close. We were in the winter bracket finals, and we took the first map, and I thought we lost. I legitimately thought we lost because I'm like, then we have to play against Luminosity, and then we have to win 2 best of 5s against Envy again. I'm like, yeah, it's possible. I'm like, oh.
Unlikely, right?
Yeah.
2 loser bracket like wins in 2 weeks. Like has that ever been done before in COD ever?
No, I'm rather than giving a stat based off
how
often.
And for 2 huge tournaments, like that $500,000 tournament and then $700,000. I don't know. Wait, 700,000 tournament and then a $1.5 million tournament. Yeah. So that was wild. Absolutely insane.
Now I want to get your opinion, Jordan, on when we went up against Luminosity. Because
I thought it was game over. I thought, all right, well, we finished T3. That's better than nothing. But what do you mean?
Luminosity didn't show up at stage 2. I forget what they placed, but I know that they
Correct.
had.
They placed top 4.
They placed top 4. I just know that they struggled and they didn't do as well as people thought. And then coming into it, they also like got knocked down to losers early. And then the the match against Rise was pretty close. Like either the maps they won were pretty close. So and I know you were talking about how you think LG was going to win stage 2, and that you think they match
Champs.
up.
I thought they were going to win both of them.
Yeah, and how you say they match up really good against OpTic. So how did you think the match was going to go?
I thought we'd win the S&D, but I thought we would lose. Actually, I thought it would go to map 5 most likely because I thought they would win the 2 hard points, but I think it was Frost uplink. Or am I wrong? Was it Frost uplink?
I know we played Frost against Envy. I'm not sure if we played.
No, yeah, it was Frost against Luminosity. I think. Right. Well, if it was Frost, then I thought it was going to be 3-2 in our favor because I thought we'd win both the S&Ds plus the uplink. The only time I ever think we're going to do that is when we have Frost uplink because I think that's our besides Precinct, but I feel like we play with the Precinct against LG, but that doesn't have to do with like the map specifically because Precinct is our best statistically speaking, but in those statistics we haven't played LG on it. So I thought it was gonna be close. I didn't think it was gonna be a like complete like mess by either team. Like I thought it's gonna be a close game and whoever takes is just barely gonna take it. But I mean we go into that match, come out gunning in the map 1, take map 2, and then the final map's pretty comfortable too. So I was surprised
Throw 'em
but
up.
happy.
Throw 'em up.
Throw them up, baby. Throw them up. But I was happy, and then we move on to the grand finals.
Dude,
Insane.
Dude,
Absolute insanity.
I was so hyped coming into this because
I was so nervous, bro. I literally would hold up my hands and I'd just be like shaking. I'm like,
dude, because like I doubted coming into it, and right before they started playing, I'm like, no, they can definitely do this. They can definitely do this because, and then the first map, I think it happened the same way. I think we won the first hard point and we lost the S&D.
mm-hmm.
I think it was the same way. I'm like,
Yeah.
God, please don't be like this.
I'm like, the same score as well. We got 6-2 on S&D both times by Envy. I'm like, oh, don't happen.
Now, I will say that S&D, I think it was this one. When we lost, there were so many things that could have gone our way.
Could've
where
gone in our favor.
it looked so bad, but it was like 1-on-1. It was like the clutch factors. Like we gave up some 1-on-2s. Like there were so many things where like if you're raging, you're like flipping your desk over because like there was one, I think it was Formal or Crim, I know it wasn't Scumpy again, who didn't finish off a kill, and I'm like, if this eliminates us again, I mean it wasn't the last map, but if this eliminates us again, they're never gonna hear the end of it. And but then we 3-1 him in the first series, and then I'm like,
after that throwback uplink, I'm like, game over. We go up 2-1, but it's on like the worst map in history for OpTic. I'm like, I was honestly, Crimstick said it as well. He's like, we won the series after that throwback uplink, because easily our worst map in any game mode. And I'm like, we just won that against Envy in the grand finals. Then we go on to win that hard point. I'm like, well, game over. If we win this next hard point, they'll be so demoralized that like it's completely game over. And that's exactly what happened. We did that, then went on to the next series, took every map pretty comfortably, and I was like, well, GG's.
See, I'm not sure if I buy into the demoralized thing, because you're gonna try your hardest. Because in that S&D, like that must have been demoralizing. Because like they were saying, we gave up 6 first bloods in a row to Envy, and like I said, with the clutches and like the rounds that they should have won.
I believe in momentum a lot, 100%.
Do you?
Well,
I mean,
I've competed before, like not in that kind of level, but I've competed a lot in like video games, and like coming off of losses, and like especially after having flashback, like they would be like after that first series, you 100% would be thinking we just got reversed, lost like 2 weeks ago by the exact same team in the finals to lose. Like this can't happen again, and then you lose the first map of the second series, you'd just be like, I'm having deja vu.
But
like,
as a pro, how many times do you lose
still
the first
play
series of a series?
You still play, but like it's just like if you get mad, you're not playing as well because you're not thinking clearly. The same thing happens if you're like demoralized. You aren't thinking as clearly, and you're worried about messing up because you're overthinking everything. And I really do think that momentum is huge in any esport.
I mean, I definitely see it within a map. I just don't know because I mean, you get a break in between each map, and then you can use that as like rethinking, because they say all the times they need a timeout like in other sports. I remember even someone said if they were allowed timeouts in S&D, this is when they should take it, because the tempo and whatnot, like you have a break in between.
It's just
maps.
like icing the kicker though, isn't it? I mean that's American football, so I don't know if you
Dude, I like it
Ben. But you can do that. Take timeouts and make him overthink the shot, right? It's just like if teams take timeouts, you spend that time obviously talking to your team like, all right, let's keep it together, do our best. And that often can help. Like I do believe that timeouts can help a lot, but at the same time it can make you overthink it. Just like you take a pause and you have time to think about like, oh, let's not lose this map. Like this is like I don't want deja vu. Sometimes if you go straight into the map, you don't have time to think about like, oh, this just happened last week. You're just like, okay, let's keep going, grind on. So I think there's kind of two sides to the story, but either way, we won. It was one of the greatest moments. I was yelling in my brother-in-law's living room in Norway, because I was still in Norway at the time, and I got pretty hyped, not gonna lie. And then I went to the OpTic shop, and they started selling special merchandise, and then a white jersey.
I didn't know it started.
The white jersey hasn't yet, but they have like gold. It was like the night of it.
That's the gold
they had like
jumper or jacket.
The gold jacket, yeah. and then a cap, and then just like a shirt that says.
Wait, when did you say they put them up?
CWO
Straight after the
champions.
final, or?
Literally like right after the final. Like I don't know. I went like half an hour after the game ended.
Oh, damn.
What if they didn't win?
Then they wouldn't have put it up.
Yeah.
All that
But-
work and they can't put it out.
So they're
They
putting
probably had it like last
white
year
jerseys
as well.
out. Yeah, they probably did. But they're putting out white jerseys, which is I think the first time in OpTic's history. Is that true?
Yeah.
That fans can buy the
I
white
think
jersey. So
so.
I'm
I know people
100%
ask for
buying
it.
one of those.
Yeah,
I've literally
never
got
bought a
just enough
jersey.
money to buy one if it's $80.
Yeah, I've never bought a jersey
So I'm
and
stoked.
the one I have I won on Reddit, and this one it's limited time too, and it's the white one.
That
so
looks
I might
pretty
just have
sick.
to.
Oh,
Now,
no.
will this white one have the Chipotle logo on it? If not, I'm not.
I
gonna-
bet it will do, yeah, because this one's got a Chipotle logo, and that's a special edition.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a special edition Champs one. Yeah, it's probably gonna say somewhere on it like Champs 2017, like a logo somewhere. Like
It'll be on the
like,
back, because if you have a look at the Champs
the
jersey,
back.
I'll show you. It'll be like this one, but it'll be like, instead of the black one, I'll bet it'll be player white. Or is it this one?
Alright. Well, I expect Seth to put this in so all of our fans can see it.
Oh shit! Yep.
The Scump watches.
Oh, 2017 World Champion. Yeah, look at that.
And then there's the
Um,
front of it. It's got like
so,
a little
yeah.
badge on, where the flag's
yeah.
supposed to be.
Oh, I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked.
So it'll be that in
I want
white.
that so badly.
Now, if they drop the CS team,
Oh no.
I ain't buying
Are we
one.
moving-
I'm joking now.
Are we moving on that?
Before we move on, just kind of like
yeah, wrap it
let's
up.
just
Wrap it up.
discuss-
I don't know much about. COD.
I know we already talked about like the future of next year, but just briefly touching on it, what do you guys expect next year, and what do you hope for? Like, realistically, I think we all kind of look at it and think, wow, we should dominate, but
Every single tournament. Throw it back to
what-
IW.
what would you not be happy with? Like, at what point would you not be happy
If we lose Champs.
with the team?
What do you
If we
mean?
lose Champs?
No.
Like, next year, how much do you expect us to be dominant, and how much, like, let's say, how many tournaments do you think we should win? Let's say there's 5 tournaments. Do you expect us to win, like, 3, 4, 5 of them? But, like, what would you be unhappy with? Like, personally, if we don't at least win 2, I think I'll be pretty upset for the year. But anything like 2 and upwards, I'd be stoked for. Like, this year, we had 4. We had, what was
Dallas.
it? ESWC, Dallas.
Season 2, Champs.
Season 2, and then Champs. So that I was stoked with. We won the most amount of tournaments out of any team by a mile. And I think no team won 2 events, did they, except for OpTic? I think.
Envy won one. Rise, I think, won one. Luminosity won one.
Envy didn't win one.
Did
Oh,
Envy?
they almost won one.
Yeah, they won. They came second twice. Luminosity, Splice, Rise,
Oh, so
United.
United.
We won 3.
So yeah, we won 4.
4?
ESWC,
there were
Dallas, Season
8
2.
events, and we won 4. Well, 8 like that Americans went to. So yeah, we won 50% of the events this year.
Nice.
So I'm super happy.
That's
with that.
pretty good compared to like how like you'd think about it. I thought loads of teams won like 3.
Yeah,
I can't get
and-
the-
that just shows how inconsistent the game was. Besides us.
Yeah.
Because to answer your question, I mean, like, it's hard to answer that question when the game isn't out. Because one, we're going back to
That's
boost.
true.
We're going back to boost on the ground. It was right after Champs. So it was going to be like a bunch of roster changes. I expect at least Clay to get off at EU.
I don't. I think
He'll stay for a bit.
If anyone's leaving, he wants to stay with the Twins. I'd say they'd drop Silly. But I don't think they will. I think they'll stay with the roster.
To be honest, right?
But yeah,
Okay,
go on.
go. No, you go on.
there's definitely gonna be roster changes. OpTic isn't going to make a move. It would be ridiculous for them to make a move. But like, I mean, if you look at how many events were in AW, and we placed in the finals at every single one of them, except Champs, and like we're dominant at that. And Black Ops 3 we're still really good at. We weren't as good, but we're still like, if AW didn't happen, people would be like, oh my god, this team is amazing, you know.
Yeah.
So we don't know how this game is going to play. If it's
That's true.
inconsistent, like this game, where a bunch of teams can easily win, then yeah, half the events I'd be happy with. So it's really hard. As long as they're placing in the top 4 consistently, I'll be happy.
Good point.
And they should win a decent amount of them. Like I said, I don't know how many events are going to be. If there's going to be like 3, and they don't win one, but they place second all of them or something like that, I'm not going to be too happy. But if there's like 12, I expect them to win a couple.
They just need to make sure they're grinding at the beginning of the game. Because this year, that was a problem. Like, Scump wasn't grinding that much. Like,
Everyone hated the game.
Everyone hated the game. They just need to get over it if they hate it. That's their job, and they just got to do it, honestly. But anyway, I guess we should move on to CS. This is on you, Ben.
Well,
I heard about it. I was actually the first one that saw the news.
yeah,
Take it away.
I was in a comp game when I found
Ben
out, right?
hasn't talked much, so.
And I got a ban after that comp game because I just shot my teammate when I saw the news. Like, that's literally how pissed I was. Like,
Want to
fucking...
explain the news? What happened for those that don't know?
Do I have to?
Yes, you do.
Yes, that's kind of how this works.
So,
kinda
Tarek and
how this
Rush got
podcast
sold to
works.
Cloud9. And now we have 2 players.
Rip.
Sick.
And then from Vision, like we saw, like they didn't say Mix was leaving, so I think he's staying. But there's a good chance that like he might be leaving. And now with this,
Mix was
I mean, there
going
are-
to Mouse Sports, then things fell through. Now Mix was staying. Now Tarek and
I
Rush
bet
have gone, and nothing
I bet
Mix will
is
left.
pissed.
Do you know
Mix
what?
is
Do you know what as well?
pissed.
I found out on Twitter today by DK, and like the Don, who I believe, I won't believe anything DK puts out now. He's been wrong 3 times this player fucking break. It's ridiculous, right? Everything he's put out is fake. Literally not come to fruition. The only thing I think was the Sunny thing, but like kind of everyone found out from the Don. And but yeah, so we have 2 players, and we have till, is it tomorrow morning or the morning after?
I don't know. It was the other day, but they extended it.
Yeah, I'll try and find out.
Yes. So I was reading up on it yesterday, and supposedly from Rush, I read his twit longer, and yeah, it actually made me really happy reading that because he posted a lot, and he was talking about like how a couple of them were like looked at as like the outcast, and coming into the scene was probably the best thing that could have happened to them, and they tried for 8 months almost trying to make it work, but they didn't have a roster. And they couldn't get someone they wanted. Then they were about to settle on their like 3rd or 4th person that they kind of wanted. They were gonna settle on them, and they almost had everything straightened out. And then they had this offer from Cloud9 come this week.
Do you know who one of the 2 players that they were gonna get as the 5th?
Who?
Which
Ali?
is even more upsetting. So one of them, they were looking at Elige from Liquid.
I heard that rumor.
Yeah, and that's like being confirmed. And the player that they were just literally about to get like a day or like a few hours away from getting was FNX, which
For sure.
the
Positive? Is that confirmed?
old SK player who won a major.
Yeah, the one.
Is that confirmed?
That is confirmed. Yeah, he was literally about to go there.
Why didn't they get him?
Got the offer from Cloud9. I don't know. Tarek's
Yeah,
always
'cause-
wanted to play on Cloud9.
And Rush said that he was looking at doing, and he had to say, should I go with this team that's been struggling for 8 months, and like try working on it even more, or should I take this leap of faith into what he thinks is an NA dream team? And like I don't blame him. Like do that,
I don't
but
think it's an energy dream
I
team,
mean
though.
it just sucks that he like these people have been on the team for 2 years. Tarek only a year, and I feel like he's such a big personality. Like seeing him on Cloud9 is gonna be like.
I'm surprised. I don't know what was going on, but I think the old Cloud9 Rush is better than the new one.
Right. So
I think Rush is really, really good, but I think Tarek's too inconsistent.
So OpTic currently have just over 36 hours, so 39, wait, 24 at 12, no, 36, about 39 hours, so just under 40 hours to get 3 players. And last night they were rumored to be buying
Let's
Immortals.
just buy out SK.
I genuinely wanted to buy
SK.
out Immortals. Like, I've got an Immortals jersey
Dude.
on its way from America right now. It's in London, right? With
Mhm.
rats on the back, but you know.
Dude, Immortals
Let's just-
isn't happening because
Yeah,
they
no,
also have a
Let's
Not
just
league
get
anymore.
SK.
They have a league team that like people forget that it's Immortals. Like They have a couple teams. Like Cloud9 has a lot. They have a league team and they have a lot of money. Their prices are going to be like high, and they're going to want to keep on their players.
Oh yeah, but like, does it mean if we're buying them, we're not buying the league team as well?
Oh, I know. I'm just saying.
Oh right, I thought you said.
They'd probably put more money out to keep them, if anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They'd be
yeah.
like, hey, they offer you this, we'll offer you even more.
I don't know. It depends. It depends if OpTic has like backers, because you can realistically buy any team. Just it's gonna cost you a lot of money.
We got that Chipotle money.
At some
now.
point, Immortals would be like, well, we can get this kind of money for this roster, and not have to do anything for it. Like,
it is a solid roster as well, because they currently got FNX on the bench. They've got in this new player. I don't understand Immortals, right? So they've got a team that just made it to the finals in the major, and yet they've just brought on this Horvey guy. So they've now got 6 players. Do they understand like only 5 can play? Like
I don't know, because I know KNG was a trial, then they signed him permanently.
Yeah,
after...
but right, I'll just put it into the Discord dead quick. But this is their current roster, and then of course you got Zach, who's the coach. What a guy! But that like, there's no one there that I would switch out for Horvey. I don't know why they just signed Horvey.
Who knows? Maybe he just fit into the team super well.
Yeah, but like, there's 6 players there. They need 5.
That is 100% accurate.
Well, is that maybe like as a sub? Maybe they want him on as like a permanent sub.
I don't know why. I don't get why they do it unless there's a reason where like a player would be missing each week, month, whatever.
I don't know. Do they have to like sign who their substitute is going to be like in advance?
Yeah, you can assign subs, but like we've had subs in the Pro League. Like we got Hazed, who was subbing, didn't we, for the season 5?
I guess, yeah.
So like we don't have to announce the subs. I don't think anyone could sub in, as long as they're not in the Pro League. I think. So like I don't understand. Like it's a bit confusing. Like someone might be able to clear it up, but like no players are being like leaked to getting kicked.
Okay, and then the other thing is there are rumors that OpTic is just going to disband. I know there was a rumor of NAF going to
NRG with DAPS.
NRG, and then I know someone said mix to like
Mix to
Mouse
Liquid
again, but then
it was going to be Liquid.
And then I think the other one's Liquid and minus a Liege.
Liquid minus a Liege, which doesn't make sense at all, because like I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather have a Liege who's been performing with that squad than add in a completely different player and maybe mess up the whole chemistry.
Yeah, but they're thinking about disbanding the OpTic CS team.
Of course,
now, what I'm thinking is if that's going to happen, and OpTic has no team, I know, Ben, you disagree, and it literally doesn't make sense, but if we're not going to have a team for months, right? Months until there's a good opportunity, when there is an ESL event, why not just, because I'm pretty sure they don't have a sponsor at this point, have the ex-iBuy Power players just wear the OpTic jerseys for these events.
The only problem with that is you're putting money into a squad that isn't going to compete at any events. I know, like you've said, they would have the Pro League spot, but they'd have to forfeit E-League, they'd have to forfeit ECS, they'd have to forfeit...
If we don't have a team anyway, is what I'm saying.
I know, but they could. I bet they could sell the spots and get more. Because I think you can sell the Pro League spot.
I'm calling it now. Within a year, this ex-iBuy Power team is going to be unbanned at least from every event except majors, maybe even the majors.
No chance. It's going to take more than at least a year.
No, what's going to happen is they're going to perform well at the events they're going to be able to, and then like they're going to get in the ESL Pro League, and then ECS is going to be like, hey, well, if we want the best teams of the best teams in here to compete with how good this league is, we need to unban these players. They're going to ban them. They're going to be there. Then an event organizer like DreamHack is going to be like, hey, this is an invitational. We want to invite the best teams. We have to invite these players. Otherwise, there's going to be asterisk next to everybody's like whoever wins this. So they invite them, and then most organizers at that point are going to have unban iBuy Power.
Yeah, but they were only banned just over 2.5 years ago. I'm gonna say it's gonna take at least 2.5 years, 5 years. When it's a 5-year mark, then
if they start performing well, and other event organizers unban them, people are gonna be like, well, do you know what? Because like in other sports, like in American football, if you are like caught using like performance-enhancing drugs, like they give you like a warning, sometimes even 2.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if you do it again. They had like 1. I mean, in some events, what they did was throw, which is like just lose purposely. But there's some esports where like teams don't get penalized. I remember Black Ops 3 for one of the leagues. What I think it was King Pappy at the time before they became 100 Thieves. I'm not sure if you guys remember this. Them and another team, when qualifying, you only had to win X amount of matches. And how the seeding worked, they purposely lost. They forfeited games. Now, if they weren't allowed to forfeit, they could just gone and not shot anybody and lost purposely. But that's throwing. So at least they played and they got like the sponsors to watch the game or whatnot. And I'm not saying that they're not in the wrong for doing it, but I'm just saying like they went really harsh on them compared to other examples that they show punishing players for other things.
But like, with the iBuy Power squad, right? Daze said he isn't ready to play yet because he doesn't feel like he's good enough. And then you got AZK, who's literally just come back from Overwatch. So I don't see him. He might with Swag, but Swag's currently with Cloud9, in New York. So like in the New York thing, he's taken over Automatic for the qualifiers at least. So they might take him to New York and he might play there, which then means there's literally no events apart from the Pro League that they can take part in. And then the Pro League, they have to qualify to like make it. Which I'd like them to because I'm going, but
Remember last time Tarek played in New York?
Yeah.
He's on CI now. He's on OpTic then.
Yeah, the last New York one was nutty. I want us to get a team, right? And this is what I want to happen. I don't care who the team is. I want them to like go through the qualifiers. Who are in the qualifiers, by the way? Sorry, I forgot to check. I want them to go through the qualifiers. I want them to then go through the tournament and then make it to the semi-final and play Liquid and then beat Cloud9 in the qualifier. Because that would be funny.
And knock them out. I'm not sure if Cloud9's even qualified because it's a new team. They have 2 new players and you said they're going to have Brax in there?
They're going to have Swag, Skadoodle, Rush, Tarek, Stu 2K. That is a deadly lineup.
Yeah, but they're also a new team.
No, though.
Yeah, I know, but like...
Rush has been struggling a bit more lately, and Tarek is just makes plays that don't make sense.
But
like,
Tarek won't have to
I'm not
leads,
saying they don't have
games
potential. I'm not saying they don't have potential, but like, I don't think the squad is as good as people are making them out to be.
I kind of agree with you, to be honest. Like, I know I just said that, but like, we were talking last night in the OpTic Discord, right? And we said, how good is Tarek? Like, how good is he? Like, are we actually missing out on anything?
People were giving problems because when he first got him, he was supposed to be the star, and he wasn't.
Yeah, like, do you remember when we were saying on this? We were like, Tarek shit. Not gonna lie, but
I didn't say that.
No, I said that. I was like, look at his rating, and he is improving. I mean, the new rating, of course, helps it out because like it doesn't just focus on kills and deaths. But,
I mean, he does pretty well for someone that has a brain the size of a peanut.
Stop.
I'm kidding. I really liked him.
No, I like them all. I love them all.
Yeah, of course.
Honestly, in my opinion, I would have not been surprised if they had tried to move Rush and Mixwell. Because in my opinion, I know Mixwell has kind of struggled here or there. I think he has a higher skill cap than Tarek does, though.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. I agree. But then they already have an AWP and whatnot, and then he gets secondary AWP if he wants.
Can you imagine Naf switches with Skadoodle next roster Mania?
No.
And then, I feel bad for Naf. I feel like he's the only one that we haven't heard have like things going on.
He's the only OG.
Naf is insane though. Like,
yeah, he's so good, especially lately.
He's
so underrated, bro.
He's like one of the best in the squad. So I feel like we've been left with the 2 better players. But even still, like, it's gonna be tough. Like, there is talks on Don's Discord. I don't know if you guys are in it.
I'm not.
But like, there is talks of them buying just 3 insane EU players.
Yeah, like, I'd love that, honestly.
I'm thinking Lowell might be one. I know he's not insane, but he is pretty good. And then we'll have I don't know, Lowell, Alu.
Honestly, that could actually be wrong. Imagine that roster actually.
Lowell, Alu, and then who would the
We
fifth be?
still wouldn't have an IGL, right?
I mean, we could pick up one.
Yeah, but that's what we've always been trying to do.
That has been a problem.
Lowell,
Now, do you
Alu.
guys think-
I'm trying to think of an IGL. Let me have a look. I'll give that to you.
What about
At the end of the day, like, this roster has been... I wish we could just start with... I don't want to start with a clean slate, but, like, at the same time I do, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I want Mixwell and Naf to stay, but, like... Oh, it's just so annoying. Dude, honestly, let's just buy SK. I've said it before. Let's just go for it. Take the risk.
No way that we can do that.
Pay... I don't know, get some billionaire in here, some, like, Middle Eastern king and prince, Middle Eastern prince to come and just put his money into them.
Oh my god, I've just thought, right? Lowell, Alu, and then whoever's getting kicked off phase for Olaf.
Someone's...
So that could be
With
Keo.
IGL.
So wait, is Shroud retiring?
Oh, yeah.
Shroud's not coming to us.
Because I know nothing in Shroud.
I know,
C9,
people have
I know
been saying, like, maybe he's just going to stream, like, so I don't know.
Nothing would be good, actually.
he's
Could you
very-
buy, like,
they're both personalities. They fit on OpTic.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but do
I
you
feel
guys
like
think
we
that
should be setting ourselves up to be the best roster in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's our end goal.
strive for
And
success?
I feel like if we do pick up either of them, I don't know if we could be the best in the world.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, like you could work that way up there. You know what I mean? Because like if that team's not the best,
Yeah, like,
maybe,
I mean, you could, but who knows?
Maybe before we just
maybe
make a
you
U-turn and
swap
buy
out
a
a player
Strauss.
here and there. Maybe you swap out
We
a
almost
player
bought
here
a shot.
Exactly.
didn't
we? Yeah.
we?
Yeah, but how worth
Why
it was
did
it
Hex
beating
have
them?
to say that? Oh,
Yeah, it
we
was.
need
Yeah,
an A?
I'd rather
How worth it-
have our current roster than a Strauss. I'm not gonna lie, because then like, just look at the amount of like anticipation, whereas the Strauss like is just dominating people, and then you get upset when they lose, compared to
And
OpTic
then
where you get
E-League?
happy.
True.
E-League, when we finally won that, Strauss was like the best team in the world, and then well, coming up, they finally got there. That was their game. All they have to do is beat OpTic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That was so worth it.
that was amazing.
100%.
So do you guys think the OpTic roster is going to disband? I mean, Mixwell. I mean, if you ever want to leave, now's the time. And then Naf, he'll just find a team maybe on NRG. And then do you think we'll just disband?
I swear I'm a curse, right? Because
I don't know what's
every
gonna happen.
time I go, like, say I'm going to an event, they either don't make it or get knocked out, and I don't see them. So I'm gonna say they stick, but they don't pick up an amazing team for now.
Who do they get, like NRG? Like the NRG's roster or something?
I wouldn't like NRG, but like an alright roster, but like they don't quite make it yet.
Alright. I feel that.
Because then we're also really... It's either we scrap the team and wait till another opportunity arises, or we try scrapping together what we have and like take like Naf and Mixwell, beg them not to leave, maybe take like nothing, and then maybe pick up a player here or there. But we can't take them from any top teams like Liquid, Cloud9, any European team, SK or anything like that. And it's gonna be a while doing that either. So.
Yeah, so, I don't know, but...
Guys, right, before we end, like I know you want to end dead quick, but there's a rumor going around by ESPN, so highly credible. FNX and Yell are in the plans of OpTic Gaming. There we go. FNX,
That'd be
Yell,
wild.
Lowell, easy.
Didn't Hex say that he wanted, like...
Ooh.
I mean, if they're down to move, because didn't Hex, when he first picked up the team, say he wanted people that he could talk to and be able to visit and stuff?
Yeah. They would have to move to Dallas. Which is near me.
I don't know. Man, I kind of wish we didn't talk about Champs first, because now we're ending on a sad note.
Yeah. Oh well, more to come.
And that's
Watch
so
out.
depressing.
Next few days, check Twitter, check everything. Stay up, don't
Follow me
sleep.
on Twitter, Lightbulb Gaming. Ah!
Yeah, so we're all ready to sign off?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright,
Hopefully, I mean, we'll probably be doing this bi-weekly, like every other week. I don't know, that's not bi-weekly. Every other week, probably.
Fortnightly.
Until our schedules are a bit less hectic.
yeah, that's
you know.
bi-weekly.
Is it
Yeah,
bi-weekly? No,
weekly.
bi-weekly means twice a week, right? bi-weekly, 2 week, maybe twice a week. I don't know. Either way, probably gonna happen every other week until we all get fully settled. Like I've been hectic, my life's been hectic lately, and we've been trying to do this consistently, but we're kind of scraping together time to figure this out.
I've got results day tomorrow, so
things will
right.
settle down soon as the year progresses. So hopefully, at some point, maybe weekly, but we'll see. Go from there.
Also,
but yeah, that's
also the school coming up, and then if there isn't a lot of news, at least we're not forcing content at you guys. There might be more content for us to actually talk about. But don't forget to subscribe if you guys want to keep up when we are uploading. Follow us on Twitter. It will be in the description. Also should be on the screen. You can follow each one of us. And do you guys have any closing thoughts?
No, that's it for me.
Till next time, guys. We'll see you later.
See ya.
See ya.